Okay, so let's see who all are present today. Sorry for the delay because I was facing some technical issues, so sorry for that. Okay, hi Shilpi, hi Siddhi. Am I visible to all of you? Yes. Okay, can you see me? Can you people see me? Okay. So hi Raghav, hello Siddhi, hi Shilpi. Daily quiz answers. Gajanan, hello, how are you all? So, guys, are you excited for today's session? Today we are dealing with Merchant of Venice Act 1. Okay? So, how excited you all are to deal with Merchant of Venice? This play is good? Okay. So, you love this play? You love Shakespeare? Yes or no, guys? So, lovers of literature, give me a high five for Shakespeare. Give me a high five for Merchant of Venice, guys. Okay, so hi Siddharth, hi Raghavendra, hi Shilpi. The live chat is not moving. It has sometimes stopped. Okay, so let us begin with Act 1, Scene 1, guys. Act 1, Scene 1 of Merchant of Venice. Okay, so Act 1, Scene 1. See, there are certain technical terms in the play Merchant of Venice, like in any Elizabethan play. First of all, let me introduce Shakespeare. Shakespeare, as you know, he's the greatest playwright, and he wrote during the time of, I mean, he wrote during Elizabethan period. So this play that we are dealing with is, Elizabethan play, right? So you need to be aware of certain technicalities as well, right? So as and when we proceed with the play, I'm going to make you aware of certain technicalities, right? Okay, so first is the first scene, that is Act 1, Scene 1. First of all plays of Shakespeare has 5 acts. Okay? All of the plays have 5 acts. So this play also has 5 acts. And yes, this is a kind of comedy. So a feature of comedy is it ends in happy ending. So it ends happily, right? So and yes, with multiple marriages, multiple the couples are together. So one such comedy is A Midsummer Night's Dream as well. If you have read A Midsummer Night's Dream, so you would be aware of that. It also ends in multiple marriages, and here also we, so as an audience, as we know that Shakespeare's comedies, or the very feature of comedy is it ends in happiness. All's well that ends well, right? So that kind of a setting. So we all are prepared for a happy ending from the very beginning as an audience, right? So let's see how the play starts. Let's see, right? So who's the, first of all, let us start with the character, I mean the what is that, the title, the Merchant of Venice, right? So Antonio is the titular character of the play because he is the Merchant of Venice, right? So the setting is Venice. So in the very beginning we see the character, Shakespeare has started to sketch the character of Antonio. So Antonio is presented in the very beginning as a very rich merchant, but he is somehow in a sad mood. He's in a melancholic mood. So when you are sketching the character of Antonio, the first act is essential. Why? Because you need to, mention this, that he was in sad mood. Now, what is the main reason of his sadness? That is not actually mentioned, exactly mentioned, right? That is not clarified. Okay? I cannot see the live chat. Let me refresh it. Okay. Okay. Hi, Ashwin. MOV also has maintained will have, but not today. Today we've just started with the play. So let's enjoy the play today, right? Now he has a friend called Bassanio who tells him of his desire to win Portia. Now Portia is again presented as a very powerful character. So with the help of Portia, we will also look at how Shakespeare portrays his women characters, right? Now Portia is a very rich heiress of Belmont. So asks Antonio to lend him some money. So his friend Bassanio, he is asking Antonio, because Antonio is a rich merchant and he is the Merchant of Venice, the titular character, and Antonio is asked by Bassanio to lend him some money. Why? Because he wants to go to uh, Belmont to win the hand of Portia, right? So he wants to present himself as a worthy suitor at Belmont. Now, Antonio does not have ready cash. So, Antonio's fortune, they are all tied up with his ships at sea, right? So, he does not have ready cash. So, he advises Bassanio to use Antonio's name to get credit in Venice. All right. So what happens now? These are the sequence of events. That is this is what happens in the first act. Now we will try and see, we will try and analyze the first act. We will see, we will go into the depth of the first act. This was all about the sequence of events as it happened. Now it is essential to understand the play in depth, and therefore we will go to the analysis as well. So let's analyze the very first act, very first scene. All that glitters is not gold. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. Wow, that's great. Yes, these violent delights have violent ends. Quote by William Shakespeare. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Dia. Thank you so much. Hi, Abhinandan. Okay, so let us see now the first term. As I told you that when I will, move ahead with the play, I will, make you aware with certain technicalities, right? So which you should know when we are dealing with a drama or a play, right? So first technical term that you should know is the exposition. Now, what is exposition? If you look at Gustav-Freytag's pyramid, I will show you Gustav-Freytag's pyramid in the next session. Okay? Today I do not have it. I will show you the image, but let me tell you what it is all about. Now, Gustav Freytag's pyramid is all about the the structure of the play. Okay, so each and every play, it begins with an exposition, right? Then you have the rise in action. Then you have the climax, which is at the peak, right? So it's like a pyramid. Then the action starts falling, and then finally you have the resolution, right? So the conflict is resolved in the resolution, and finally the denouement. That is the denouement part, right? So we will describe each and every term, not in this class, but yes, in the next session, definitely. But today we will talk about the exposition, definitely, because in the first act, the first scene has the exposition. And exposition means where the characters are introduced, right? So it identifies the characters, and yes, it explains the situation. So what is the situation that we are made aware of? That Antonio's ships are stuck at the sea and his fortune is right there, right? So there is also subtle dialogue between Antonio, Salarino and Salanio, right? And we also learn that the titular character Antonio is a wealthy merchant and he is worried for some obscure reason, which makes him melancholy. So yes, the first character sketch, the first point in the character sketch that you need to write about Antonio is about his melancholic nature for some unknown reason, right? So he is a member of a group of friends who arrived later: Bassanio, Lorenzo, and Gratiano. All of these, so there is a contrast of the character between the contrasting character sketch is there. What about whom? Contrasting character sketch between Antonio and his group of friends, right? Antonio is somehow melancholic, but the group that he has, they are, kind of happy-go-lucky persons, right? So they are not melancholic at all. So that is the contrast. Arey, formic music. Oh my God, All India rank. If you say my name, I will be blessed and will score All India rank 1. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is something. Okay, okay. Formic music, may God bless you and may your dream come true. All your dreams come true. Okay. Joseph Dennis is asking, each paragraph of the drama will be discussed. Okay. So let me tell you this. What is the session division? What I have thought is we will go act wise. So I will discuss about the major features of each act. And then there will be one session in which I will talk about all the important portions, all the important lines from the play, right? So in short, the whole play will be covered, right? So no need to worry, guys. Just enjoy the play, right? Okay, so perhaps the most important for the purposes of the plot, we are told that Antonio has many shipping ventures. Okay, his mercantile risks. So Shakespeare begins to sketch some of his characters and some of the atmosphere, and he also creates the atmosphere of the play. That is the whole purpose of this exposition. So Antonio is presented as being sad and he is afflicted with a melancholy which he himself does not appear to understand, right? So Antonio's gravity serves as a contrast to the light-heartedness of his friends. As I told you, that his friends, his group of friends that he has, they are kind of, very light-hearted, happy-go-lucky kind of person, as opposed to Antonio, who is grave, who is very serious, and also, there is a tinge of melancholy in his character. right? So he is represented as a foil for the spirited byplay of the others. Now there is another technical word that you should understand is foil. What is foil? Foil is, contrast, right? So without contrast, with if there is a contrast, there would be a conflict, and if there is no contrast, no conflict, your play will never move forward. As Aristotle said that without conflict there is no drama. So it is essential to have conflict in each and every play. Without conflict, how will your play proceed, right? If every character is good, would it be a good play? If every character is villainous, then it would also not be a good play. There should be a contrast, right? So that is very important. Now, moving ahead with scene two. Who is the villain of the play? Beta, again, when you are talking about villain or somebody completely virtuous, somebody completely villain, that is a point which we need to question, because everyone has their shade of gray. It is actually not possible to discriminate between. I mean, it's not actually possible to create this distinction, right, between a good character, virtuous character, and a completely villainous character, because no one in this entire world is completely good or completely bad, completely virtuous or completely villainous. You all, must be wondering that in the serials, in the regular, in the TV commercials. No, I should not say commercial. In the TV serials, you see the vamps, right? So it's not like that, guys. Our life is not like that. We have characters which that is what is the beauty of Shakespeare. He always paints his character with his characters are lifelike, right? They have their shades of gray. It's not completely painted in black and white, right? So we will discuss this when we will see the character sketch of Shylock. Okay, and also the character sketch of Antonio. Apparently, we may say that Antonio is the virtuous character and Shylock is the villainous character. But when we will go into the depth of the play, then we will understand that actually both have their shades of gray, and that is that should be our reading of this play. That should be justified. Okay? So scene 2 moves from Venice to Belmont. Okay, so Venice, and scene 1 begins in Venice with Antonio, and scene 2 shifts to Belmont. Now in this regard, another Okay, so Dia says, ma'am, we had a question to prove Bassanio as the villain of the play. Can you explain that? Okay, Dia, definitely. First, let us proceed. I've just started with the play. As and when we proceed with the character sketch, I will explain each and every point. Don't worry, right? Okay. So, yes, moves from Venice to Belmont. Portia is introduced. Now, in this regard, again, I would like to add something very important. Aristotle talked about three unities: unity of place, unity of time, unity of action. Right now, unity of place said, according to unity of place, the play should not shift between places. Unity of time said the play should be completed in 24 hours. And unity of action said that there should not be any subplot. The action should be completely, I mean, one. There should be only one action. There should be only one plot. There should not be any subplot. And Shakespeare violates all these unities. First of all, he has subplots. He also, shifts his place from Venice to Belmont and, other places. So, yes, he violates all the three unities, right? So, that is what you should keep in mind. That is just for your extra knowledge. So, in this scene 2, he introduces Portia, and she discusses with her maid Nerissa the scheme of lottery of caskets. So, in the second scene, we come across the famous lottery of caskets scene. Okay, we are having a talk about, I mean, they converse about the lottery of casket, by which her suitors choose one of the caskets to win her. So this lottery was prepared by her father. Okay, so Nerissa tells her of Bassanio, whom she had found attractive. Okay, so now we would analyze the second scene. So the opening scene of this is deliberately reminiscent of the opening of scene 1. How, like Antonio, Portia also announces her sadness. Why is she sad? Portia's sadness we know because she thinks that she has no freedom to choose her own suitor because she is bound by that lottery of casket, right? So that is why she is sad. However, Antonio's reason of sadness is not known, right? So Portia's sadness is clearly due to the conditions imposed on her by her dead father's will. So that is again the opening of this scene is reminiscent of, therefore it is reminiscent of the opening of scene 1, right? Because Antonio was shown to be a melancholic character and here Portia is also shown to be sad. But the only difference is the fact that Portia knows about her sadness, whereas, I mean, we know about Portia's sadness, but whereas we do not know why Antonio is melancholic in the first one. Hi, okay, ma'am, but one difference is that we know the reason for her melancholy. Yes, exactly. That is what I was saying, Sanju. Exactly. Okay. Has been reduced. Has anything been reduced from MOB? No, dear. MOB is still there. MOB is still there. Merchant of Venice is still there. Who is Nerissa? Good question, guys. Who is Nerissa? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Anyone who is Nerissa? Chalo, come on. One of your friends have asked who is Nerissa. Come on. Arey, thank you, Vidhi. Thank you, Vidhi. Lady in waiting of Portia. Exactly, Preeti. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, in simple words, servant of Portia. Yes, yes. Lady in waiting, maid, servant, all same. Okay. So Portia's dismissal of each of her suitors corresponds to her age's caricatures of the typical Italian, Frenchman, German, and so on. Now this is important. Now one by one, all her suitors arrive, and Portia dismisses each of them. How? Why? Because they fail to win her hand by choosing the correct casket, right? So, and her dismissal of each of the suitor also corresponds to her age's caricature. For example, typical caricatures of the typical Italian, Frenchman, German. For example, the Neapolitan prince does nothing but talk of his horse. Okay, so what does the Napoleon prince do? He does nothing, but he only talks about his horse. Okay, a characteristic which is true for the southern Italian. Okay, so you can see that the caricatures of typical Italian, Frenchman, German are portrayed vividly, right? Next, we have the County Palatine. It's a pure, unadulterated dullard. That is, he is unable to laugh at anything. So he's so dull, he is unable, he does not laugh at anything, right? The next suitor is Monsieur Le Bon, is every man in no man. That is to say that he has many superficial and changeable characters, right? But he does not have a single substantial one. That means he changes his character very frequently. He fails to maintain his true self, right? So that is why Portia says that if I marry him, that means I have to marry 20 husbands, right? Because he is never himself. He always changes his character, right? The English suitor, on the other hand, affects European fashion in clothing, but gets all of the various national fads in clothes, music, literature, etc. completely confused and refuses to speak in any language except his own. So the English suitor, he does not speak in any other language except his own. And then we have the Scot, who is defined by his anger at the English. So he is always angry at the English. And finally, the German, who does nothing but drink. So Portia refuses to marry a sponge. Why is he telling him why is he referring to him as a sponge? Because he always drinks. So he soaks everything, all the drink in him, right? So that is why he's referred to as a sponge, right? So Portia, this is talking about Portia's dismissal of each of her suitor, right? Clear? Hanji sponge. Okay. Moving ahead, this scene has three major purposes. Very important. First, It outlines the device of the casket for us, which will prove the dramatic basis for the scene in which the various suitors hazard their choice of proper casket for Portia's hand in marriage. Now, this is important, guys. So, this scene is about the casket as well, right? So, it is outlining the device of casket, okay, which will serve as the dramatic basis for the scenes in which the suitors will hazard their lives, hazard their choice to make, hazard their choice for the proper casket for winning Portia's hand in marriage. And then it also introduces Portia, not simply as a fair object of Bassanio's love, but as a woman of a powerful character, a wit, and perceptive about people around her, and quite able to hold her own in verbal combat with anyone in the play. And herein we come to the character sketch of Portia as well. So Portia and Shakespeare, we can talk about Shakespeare's women characters. If I talk about Macbeth, there also he portrayed Lady Macbeth as a very strong lady, right? Capable of taking very strong decisions, which even was not being able to take. Which his husband Macbeth was also not being able to take, right? And so he deliberately, anyways, let's not talk about Macbeth. Let's talk about Merchant of Venice. So here Portia is not just a fair object of, fair decorative object, right? But she is very strong. She's portrayed as witty, and that we will see at the end of the play as well, right? She is also perceptive about people around her, and she is very good in verbal combat as well, right? Yes, Siddhi, Bassanio took hazard to win Portia, definitely. Are Romeo, I'm not ignoring you. Very interesting introduction to the wittiest character in the play who is revolutionized for her mercy speech. Yes, so that we will come at the end of the play, Sanju. Okay, moving ahead. There is a minor but significant touch towards the end of the scene when Nerissa asks Portia whether or not she remembers a certain Venetian scholar and soldier who had earlier visited Belmont. So here, Nerissa, she asks Portia about Bassanio, right? First, we hear Portia's immediate recall. So immediately she could recall Bassanio, and that gives us a hint that she somewhat or the other, some way or the other, she has a liking or an affinity towards Bassanio, because she could immediately recall Bassanio when Teresa mentions him, right? So this also reminds us, as I told you at the beginning itself, that we should remember that this is a comedy, and in comedies we all can understand that everything will be ending, and everything will end in a very happy mood, right? So despite all the obstructions to come, this is a comedy, and because of Bassanio's attempts to win Portia and her affection for him, both of them will be finally rewarded. We can from the very beginning apprehend that. Why? Because we know that this play is a comedy, and comedies have happy ending, right? Okay, now we come to scene 3. Beta Menti is not there today. Today we will just understand the play. First act, we will understand the first act. Menti will come definitely, don't worry. So, introduction to the harsh realities of the Venetian market, right? So, very, very, very important. When Venice is portrayed as, a business-oriented place, we are continuously, switched from Belmont, and, we are switching between these two places, Belmont and Venice, and they are in complete contrast to each other. Belmont is a place of love, music, whereas again we are brought in to the harsh realities of Venetian market, which is which is about, what to say, business tactics, money, right? All these. And Shylock is also one of the important characters, and the focus of the dramatic conflict is introduced in this scene. Antonio has no other way but to borrow money. Okay, Shylock agrees to give him money, not for interest, but under an agreement of bond. Now, this bond is very, very, very important. If Antonio agrees to repay his debt in time, Shylock will have the right to move to have 1 pound in weight of Antonio's flesh. So this was the bond between Shylock and Antonio. So Antonio wanted to borrow money from Shylock, but Shylock, what is he saying? That he is ready to give him the money required, but not under an interest, but under an agreement, under a bond. And what is that bond? If Antonio fails to repay the money, then he's going to, he would have the right to take 1 pound of flesh from Antonio's body, right? Hanji, we will complete, definitely, definitely. Okay, so guys, let's take a break. Okay, I'm also tired, right? So, talking about online education, as all of you know, so we have tried to identify your problems. Okay, so what are your problems? Doubts, notes, tests and assignments, competitive exams, choice of schedule, choice of language, right? Are these your problems? Do you face these problems? Yes or no? Yes or no? Break time, yes, yes or no, guys? So if you face these problems, guys, you will no more have to worry about these, because we are going to offer you, we are going to solve all your problems. Your doubts are going to be absolutely clarified with our master teachers as well as class teachers. We will provide you personalized attention in the class. We will give you notes after uh, each class. Tests and assignments are there just for you guys so that you prepare yourselves great, right? Competitive exams would also be taken care of. Schedule, you have the choice of schedule, flexibility to choose your own schedule on your own, right? That means we will provide you time slots, and according to that you can choose your own schedule. Choice of language also is there. Those of you who are comfortable in Hindi can choose, Hindi as a medium of instruction, and those who are comfortable in English can choose English as a medium of instruction. So no worries about that as well. Right, so we have bonus features. Apart from the problems that we have already solved, we are also providing you some bonus features. Unlimited live classes, micro course, crash course, performance report, personalized attention. So micro course is where we are giving you individual attention to the chapters, right? So suppose any chapter is going on in the school and you're not able to follow, you can attend the micro course for that chapter, right? Crash course is what? It is a complete revision of your syllabus. It will enable you to revise your syllabus at one go. And of course, the tests and assignments that we prepare, we conduct, we also give you the performance report for that. And with that performance report, you can definitely see in which area you are falling short. And you can definitely improve that, right? And personalized attention, of course, you're going to have all your doubts are going to be solved instantaneously, guys. What you need to do is you need to just visit vdnt.in/ytpro. You have to choose your grade, choose your board, check out the details, click on get subscription, and you have 3 types of subscription: 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months, right? So for financially speaking, the one with 6 months would be beneficial for you, cost effective. But yes, of course, if you're not very confirmed about 6 months, you can also go for 1 month or 3 months, right? What you need to do is, a coupon code is not given. Okay, I will tell you the coupon code: vdnt.in/ytpro. The coupon code is SWREPRO, right? So please mention, please understand the coupon code. Look at the coupon code carefully. Listen to the coupon code SWREPRO. That is the coupon code. So if you are applying that coupon code, you are going to get the discount price. So you can see before and after the coupon, right? So don't forget to apply the coupon code. It is SWREPRO for this channel. Okay. So guys, All the best, and please do come with us. So give us the opportunity to provide you the best, right? Vedantu is meant only for you, designed specifically in keeping in mind the children's needs, your needs. So give us an opportunity to give you the best, right, guys? So moving ahead with the session. Yes, it is cheap and affordable, because if you calculate, you will see that for each class you are just paying 6 to 7 rupees, not more than 10 at least, right? So that is quite affordable, guys. So do not miss this amazing opportunity. It's such an affordable price. You are getting actually 6 subjects: physics, biology, chemistry. Like maths, English, social science, right? So 6 subjects you are getting at such an affordable price, right? So do not miss out on this. No, I'm not ignoring you. What is the meaning of critical appreciation? Arey, beta. Critical appreciation means when you critically analyze the language, the theme, the title, right? Then yes, the rhyme scheme, right? The technical aspects as well. So everything, when you talk about the theme, as well as when you talk about the technical aspects, that is known as the critical analysis. Okay. Okay, so the scene has two important functions. First, it completes the exposition of the two major plot lines of the play. Okay, Antonio agrees to Shylock's bond. So Antonio says yes, but because he couldn't understand the motive behind such, he was naive, so he couldn't understand the devilish motive behind such bond. 3,000 ducats for a pound of flesh. So that was the bond. And second, the most important, dramatically, the scene introduces Shylock himself. So first of all, it completes the exposition of the two major plots and the second plot lines. And the second is it introduces Shylock. What is happening? Okay, sorry. I think there was a connection problem. I don't know why my Wi-Fi got disconnected somehow. Now, can you see me? Now I'm visible, right? Sorry for that. Okay, where was I? Okay, yeah. So, in making Shylock avoid committing himself immediately to lending Antonio the money, Shakespeare is here building a dramatic crisis. Now, Antonio's mounting impatience that leads to his increased arrogance. So here, when he was actually dealing with Shylock, if you read that portion when he's dealing with Shylock, you will see he's becoming impatient. Right? He compares the moneylender to the apple rotten at heart. Very important. Still, however, Shylock is not responding. Why is he not responding? Because he has a plan in his mind. He pretends to muse on the details of the loan. He is continuously thinking about the detail, how to trap Antonio. That was the motive of Shylock. And Antonio is not able to understand, right? He is getting impatient. And he also, gives a abusive replies to Shylock. He's saying that money lenders are those who are, money lenders are apple rotten at heart. Right. So here we also come across the conflict between Christian thinking, and Jews, thinking of the Jews. The Jews are basically business minded, so they charge a high amount of interest, whereas the Christian, they believe in lending money without interest. So this is a conflict between the Jews and the Christians and their perception, right? And so therefore now we will see what happens next. Shylock begins to answer directly, and he does so with calculated calm. Why is he so calm? Why? Because he is calculating, right? You call me misbeliever. Now, this is very, very, very important. Okay? You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog. So, this is how Shylock had been facing these abuses since a very long time, since time immemorial. Okay, and Shylock representing all the Jews, Antonio representing the Christians. So their conflict representing the age-old conflict between the Jews and the Christians. Okay, Shylock reveals to us that Antonio did void your rum upon my beard, so he used to spit on him, right? Okay, and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. This is a vivid dramatic change, climaxing in the taunting lines. Hath a dog money? Is it possible? A cur can lend 3,000 ducats. So he's saying that you had called me a cutthroat dog and now you are asking me for money. So does dog have, do dogs have money? And when what happened was he also used to spit on Shylock just because he was a Jew and just because he charged interest, a high rate of interest from people. So this is again taking us towards another side of Shylock's character where we can actually sympathize with, if not sympathize, then definitely empathize with Shylock. Right? And that is why I told you that we cannot say a man or a character is completely virtuous or a character is a complete villain. Right? There are shades of gray, and this aside and this speech of Shylock is actually is actually taking us to that side of Shylock, which in which we cannot actually say that Shylock is a complete villain. Shylock's earlier aside, I hate him for he is a Christian. The audience was inclined to pigeonhole Shylock as the villain of the drama, right? So in the earlier aside, when he said that I hate him because he's a Christian, we can understand that he is a villain. Anyone who hates simply a man only because he is a Christian must be logically a villain. Yet now, when we actually go into the depth and the complexity, we are given a most revealing glimpse of a man who has been a victim. So is Shylock a victim or is he a villain? Whose imposition of suffering on the others is directly related to his own suffering. So why is he calculating to trap Antonio? Because that is because of his own suffering, directly related to his own suffering. And now with this speech we can very well understand, right? Shylock's interest is not in the money in this case, and Antonio fails to realize that. Nor does he realize fully the depth of hatred that Shylock had for him. Right? He is therefore unable to be persuaded that his bond is dangerous. He does not. He fails to understand about the dangerous bond. He takes it as a merry bond. Right? Shakespeare has set up a situation in which a man has put his life in the hands of a moral enemy, and the outcome depends on fortune. That is, whether or not Antonio's merchant ships survive pirates and the high seas. So that is where the outcome will depend, whether his ship can, survive the high seas. Right? Okay. Shylock's intentions are not materialistic, but a deep-rooted feeling of revenge. Exactly, that is what I was telling you. That he did not care about money at this point of time, which Antonio failed to understand. Right? Antonio and Shylock are diametrically opposite. So here you will get the difference between the contrasting characters of Antonio and Shylock, which you can be asked in your question as well. Shylock is cunning, cautious, crafty, and the way he plans this entire bond is suggestive of that. He belongs to a race which has been persecuted since the beginnings, right? This is very, very important. Why is he being crafty? Why is he being so cunning and cautious? This is also not out of a sudden. This is because of his persecution since a long time, since time immemorial. As a Christian, Antonio is easygoing because he had not faced this, right? That is why he is easygoing, he's trusting, he does not understand, he's naive because he has not faced this persecution which Shylock has faced. It is the circumstances that makes a person a villain or a hero, right? Sometimes it's not that person is born a villain. right? It is because of the circumstances, because of the society, because of whatever he has faced that he becomes what he becomes. Exactly that is the case with Shylock. Shylock trusts only the tangible, that is the bond. Antonio trusts the intangible, that is luck, and that is why he is dependent on the fortune, right? Which is stuck in the sea. Here, Shylock seems almost paranoid and vengeful. So, this vengeance is very, very, very important. But on the other hand, Antonio seems ignorantly overconfident, right? So, this point is very important because this highlights the contrasting character of Antonio and Shylock, right? Okay. So, okay, guys. So, I guess that was all for today. Okay? I think 1 second. Yes, so that was all. So we completed Act 1, guys. So if you today we faced a lot of technical issues. Sorry for that, but guys, don't forget to hit the like button. So guys, before going, I would like to give you one homework which I would like all of you to comment on. Do you think till whatever you have done so far, according to you, is Shylock a complete villain? If yes, why? If no, why not? Okay. So don't forget to post your answers, guys, in the comment section. I would definitely take out your comments for and read them all out in the next session, guys. So in the next session, we will proceed with the play. Okay. So please be very clear with the first act, right? And we will then proceed with the next act, and we will also, give out some of the technicalities of the play as and when we proceed. Okay, guys. Circumstance create. Yes, yes. Okay. So thank you so much. Take care. See you again in the next session. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So please support us because we have created this channel only